Hi, everybody. This is Kathy. Welcome back. Now, some people have been saying the same things I've been saying, that there's some videos missing. I think Eric has taken some videos down, possibly dirty deleting some incriminating stuff. But anyway, this is one of the videos that I know was missing. And as a matter of fact, when Dwayne here did his video about what happened, his version of why he doesn't help people anymore, he showed this clip of Eric, and I said, aha, that's the video that's missing. This is the video that's missing with this color of a wall and that painting right there, or whatever, this artwork. This is, I ring a bell. That's the one that's missing, and that's the one that's got some stuff on it that I know he wanted to get rid of anyway. But I found it. Yes, I found this. Obviously, Dwayne and Eric still have it, but it's not on the Whitaker page anymore. So I did find it, though. Now, I found it in a couple places because I've been keeping an eye out for this peach colored wall or whatever it is. This looks different in my camera than it does on here. But anyway, I've been looking for this painting on this wall because this is the video. And I found it. Psychology Eats has it, and somebody else has it too. So I've at least 2 people recorded this, which thank God, because this is the one that I've been looking for. Now, this is the day that September 8th, the day that the Whitaker's family was taken. Ray, Timmy, and Lorraine were taken away by adult protection. And as you can see, he starts out, Ray, Lorraine, and Timmy have been taken. Now, he looks so agitated and just so angry in this. And I always have to ask myself, like, would you be this angry if you were, first of all, this is the weekend after the mess that Eric caused, and this is what he wanted. And he wanted the Whitakers to be taken away. And actually, after this video, he has his most recent one on October 3rd. He's glad the Whitakers got taken away, and he's happy they've been taken away. And by the way, once in a while, I'll get a comment on here saying, oh, so you want Timmy to be beaten up, huh? You like Timmy to be beaten? Like, shut up. No, nobody wants Timmy to be beaten. And nobody else that I know of should ever want Timmy to be ripped out of his home and put somewhere away from his family. Because that's more abusive than anything, in my opinion. So no, I don't want Timmy to be beaten. That's a stupid question. Obviously, they're not paying attention. And that's okay. Not everybody pays attention. But this video, my videos, are for people who do pay attention, okay? So no, I don't want Timmy to be beaten by BJ, okay? Let's clear that air. In case, I don't know, more than one person or 2 people thought so. No. Nobody wants Timmy to be beaten. People want Timmy to be happy. I want Timmy to be back home where he belongs. And so save your dumb comments. Although they sometimes make me laugh. Alright, so in this video, there's a few reasons I think why Eric dirty deleted it, and because there's some stuff on here. He's, actually, we're just going to go over some of it, so go ahead. This is the day, oh wait, timeline. Now remember, Friday, he canceled the house deal because he said because BJ was there. He has denied not. He's been blaming Betty for canceling the order when he was here. They're admitting they did know it, but Friday, the land deal supposedly fell through here, right? But somehow Betty still gets blamed for the canceling the log cabin. Now, according to Patrick, Eric knew the whole time that Whitakers didn't own that property. Now, Eric had been planning for weeks to take Timmy home on the 6th. That was the day after the big blow up, the Amish stuff. He was supposed to take Timmy back to Georgia on the 6th. And I have more than one recording about that. But actually, Patrick now says on this day when he's doing the recording, they got taken away. Timmy, Lorraine, and Ray got taken away. Eric knew that they were coming because there was somebody, a security guard, that got told to leave. Eric told the security guard to leave because he claims that Patrick was going to get arrested for SA on Timmy. But what really happened after the security guard was told to leave is that APS came and took them away. So Eric knew ahead of time, and Patrick is claiming that Eric had filed emergency custody for Timmy. Now he's already got the custody papers for Timmy he was going to leave with here. But since that fell through, well, in comes the state. They take them away. Eric knew it in advance, like I showed. Now I'm going to play a clip from Lady K's live stream from the other day where Patrick says Eric knew the whole time the land was not the Whitakers.
Sarah? Right. So do you think that Eric knew the land was tied up in Eric's ship and that and how there was no explanation? You know, do you think he explained that? Did anyone explain to him that it was tied up in Eric's ship?
He knew that from the get-go because
oh my God.
Me and Eric had a conversation because he kept saying that that Betty wanted her house, log house built on the back side of the property. And I was like, no, that's bullshit. And, you know, I talked to Betty about it like in the beginning because I told Betty, I was like, you know what? She told me what she wanted. She wanted a house across the road, and she wanted like a porch built on top of the rocks across the road. And she said she wanted to sit on her porch like she always has and drink coffee and watch cars go by. She said, I've done that all my life. Why the hell would I want up in a holler?
Okay. So this is the day that they were taken, on that Monday. And like I said, he knew they were they knew they were coming. I'll do another video showing that. Eric knew ahead of time they were coming to get him. Eric was angry, filing emergency custody for Timmy, and blaming everything on Betty and the restraining order, and avoiding the fact that they don't own the property. And he's just acting so furious and in a rage. I mean, look at the veins are sticking out of his forehead. He's just like ready to explode with anger. And for why? For what? He's the one who missed the restraining order. He's the one who called in adult protection to have them removed, which now he claims that he's glad, and it was his point the whole time to have done. He said that was his purpose.
So then, all of this goes down. They say he's trying to get you to home. We try to make this like water under the bridge. On Thursday, we go to the Amish. That was the day, I guess, that the court date was. Guys.
And this is the video where we all saw it. We all know that he, at one point, admitted that that's when the court date was, and that's why he removed this video right here. I guess that's when the court was, you guys. But remember, he's been telling everybody that Betty canceled it. Betty canceled it. I mean, look at the acting in this. It's just over the top.
So then, all of this goes down. They say he's trying to get you to home. We try to make this like water under the bridge. On Thursday, we go to the Amish. That was the day, I guess, that the court date was. Guys, I was told 10 days. 10 days from that day is what we...
And we And told by who, Eric? The parking attendant? Who? The lady at McDonald's? Who told you this? Because 10 days, we counted, we did the math like everybody else should have, and we saw that the 10 days was on a Saturday. So he thinks if he's just keeps saying 10 days long enough, everybody will believe it. And I guess it worked because, yeah, people believed it.
With that protective order. If you go back to every live, that's what I said. I, honest to God, thought we had 10 days. Now,
Well, you're in charge of it, Eric. You were wrong. And 10 days instantly would have been on a Saturday. They got the temporary restraining order here. 10 days would have been the 6th. And you know what? If he really is got brain fog with something about the 10 days from here, it's the 10 days till he was going to take Timmy home to Georgia. He might have thought that. And if he thought anything, Eric, 10 days from that day would have been the day that you were going to take Timmy home to Georgia. I'm going to do a whole video on that. And quit bringing God into it. Honest to God. What was God that got the Amish people? God had helped us get the permits and all this other. Oh, that's another thing that's in this video about the permits. But go ahead, Eric. Yeah, so if he keeps trying to tell everybody it was 10 days, then it's Betty's fault. Somehow.
That's what I said. I, honest to God, thought we had 10 days. Now, the first 2 days...
Okay, but you were wrong. So you should have said, wow, I was wrong. It's not Betty's fault. It's mine. So therefore, I can't blame BJ for sitting in her own camper where she lives. And she's lived for years before I showed up. Right, Eric? That's what you should say. Well, she's lived there for years. I tried to get the restraining order. Forced everybody to go there with me and get it. And then when I got the temporary one, I was so busy with my friends that I forgot to go. Because I thought it was going to be on a Saturday when the court was closed. But instead it was on the day that he told. So anyway, he should have admitted he dropped the ball in the restraining order. He was wrong about the land, but somehow the restraining order is Betty's fault, land is Betty's fault. Everything's Betty's fault. And BJ's.
Like a September 9th or 10th date. But regardless, and you'll find out why.
And we already went over this. 10 days is not September 9th or 10th. So... yeah, so 10 days from here would have been on a Saturday, the 6th, when he's bringing Timmy home. But somehow he thought it was down here on the 9th or the 10th. Yeah, that would have been, what, 2 weeks later? That might make some sense. But people like to talk really fast and spit out numbers and numbers and numbers until your head spins and you don't know what they're saying. You just got to take the word for everything. That's where he's at here, but go ahead.
I'm out here going to the Amish. I'm out here getting building permits. I'm out here taking every...
out here getting building permits to build on property. By the way, and this is another thing. I won't even get into it. The Amish don't use building permits. It's against whatever. They don't do it. So it's up to the property owner to get all the permits. And you don't even know what you need yet, Eric. But you do need a building permit, and there's no way they would have placated you, and there's no way that the county down there would have handed you a bunch of building permits to build property on a land that you don't even know who owns. You already know, according to Patrick, you knew months ago that they didn't own the property. But as of Friday, the 5th, you have to admit that you're down there and found out that Whitakers don't own that property. So it was your fault for not finding out sooner and spending all tens of thousands of dollars. And it's your fault for missing a restraining order. But have you ever heard him say either one of those? You ever hear him say, take responsibility for anything? It's always somebody else's fault. And he was always going to do something. I was going to get the permits. I was going to build a house. I was going to get a trust. I was going to put the Whitakers' money somewhere. I was gonna. But he never does. And the anger and the rage is just so over the top. I don't get where he's coming from, because it's not his house. It's not anything, and it has to do with him. And all he did was just go spend a bunch of money on nonsense that's been exposed already. That was totally unnecessary. tens of thousands of dollars that Whitaker's really good at used. But instead, they had to go steal $3 worth of gas from Eric and get blackmailed the rest of the summer. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm out here going to the Amish. I'm out here getting building permits. I'm out here taking everybody, doing everything. I was the only one doing anything. Literally, the only one doing anything until my friends got here. Which makes me so angry.
Look at that rage and anger in him. This is somebody that should adopt a mentally challenged man.
What seemed like a normal day. We went, talked about the permits, came on, give you guys the live, let you see.
Talked about the permits for what? You guys don't even know the man who owns that property. So why are you still pretending there could have been a house on property that we don't even know who owns that land? Good grief.
What was going on, flood zones, everything that's going on.
Flood zones on somebody else's property. We don't even know the guy. Nobody even knows who owns that property. It probably, in my guess, because I know about properties, okay, I know about properties. So, in my guess is that it probably maybe didn't get taxes paid on it for a certain amount of years, and what happens is the state ends up just auctioning off at the end of every year. My area has it too. They auction off properties that were seized for non-payment of taxes, and so you can get property really cheap. I've actually looked into buying these properties, and so somebody probably bought that Whitaker's land up real cheap, and they put an LLC on it, and it's just an investment for them. And they're turning a blind eye to that house on there, because if they recognize the house on there, then his taxes will go up, and he's not interested in that. It's probably very cheap taxes, probably really cheap, probably $100 a year or something, as long as there's not a house on it. So that's my thought. Anyway, go ahead. Keep that. Oh yeah. So, and why do we care about the flood zones in property that we don't even own, or nobody knows who owns it? I mean, yeah, you got the guy's name. Did you talk to this guy about building the Whitakers a new home on his property that he owns? Because we know the Whitakers don't own it, but the funny thing is the Whitakers do own the property across the street. The property where the old trailer was, and you could put a new one in there, and you could have been living in it months ago. Whitakers could have had a double wide, pulled in one half at a time, put them together, and bam, they could have been living in that double wide. And that place across the street not only is in their name, but it has a septic system. And that's what the security guard tried to tell Eric, and he told him to leave. Just too much common sense there just angers and makes Eric more enraged. You try to say anything that's got common sense, and it just pisses him off. All right, go ahead.
They're not going to allow you to put the home there. One, it's supposedly not even your property.
Right there. They're not going to let you build a home there because supposedly it's not your property yet. And you knew this, Eric. So why the trips? Why the pretending to get a home there? Why all this? It doesn't matter if they put the home in the front of the property or the back of the property. It's not theirs. It's not theirs. And if it was theirs, it would be in a flood zone. So, I mean, but let's just stop first at common sense and say it's not their property to build on. Seeing what's going on in the flood zones of somebody's property, we don't even know the guy?
And I told Betty, they're not going to allow you to put the home there. One, it's supposedly not even your property.
You can stop at one, Eric. You don't even need another single reason why you can't build a home there. Because it's not even their property anymore. They might not even be aware of it. But I question if I had the Whitakers sitting right here, when's the last time you paid taxes on that property? Because they probably, it'll go into foreclosure, it'll go into, what do they call it? Where the government takes it, the county, state, whatever. They'll seize the property for non-payment of taxes. And it does take years. They don't do it like first, second, third year. It takes years until they figure, well, we're never going to get this money. And it takes years for that to happen. So they might not even be aware that happened. But anyway, so put on supposedly not even your property. It isn't their property. Shame on you, Eric, that you didn't tell everybody this months ago before all this Amish pipe dream home. But you can stop there. You can stop there. Number one, it's not even your property. You can stop there. You don't need a number 2, 3, or anything past that. It wasn't their property. You knew it. Whether you believe Patrick told him earlier, and as a matter of fact, Patrick said that he's got the communications to prove that Eric knew this. Till I see that, I don't know. Can't say for sure. But if I saw the texts and the proof, then, and you know what, I really don't need it. I believe Eric knew the whole time. I mean, come on. Anyway, so yeah, right there. And this is one of the many reasons why he deleted this video, because a lot of it contradicts his stories before and after this. Now, about getting the permits, and also in here he talks about Betty is saying that later on, Betty is saying that Lorraine wants Timmy home. We want Timmy home. Like I said in the other video, Betty raised Timmy from birth. So Timmy's got 2 moms. He's got Betty, who raised him, and Lorraine, who had him birth. So, but also in this video, Betty wants Timmy home, and I'm just going to real quick play it. Why not?
I mean that Timmy, or
Back it up.
Betty tells me that Timmy, or Lorraine, is missing Timmy, and I know she was. She loves her son, guys.
And this was on Friday. They want Timmy home. They're enough of this BS. Enough of this BS. Eric, Eric was going to take Timmy home the next day after the blow up on the porch on Friday, blaming everything on Betty why the house can't get built. Well, he was going to just have Timmy and take him home the next day. And this is another reason why I think he's enraged, is because he wasn't able to take Timmy home as planned.
She loves her son. And she said, "Do you mind bringing him back?" And I was like, "Is he still going to be able to go to Georgia with me?" "Yes, he'll be."
Okay, I mean, just think of this. We really miss Timmy, our family member. Can you bring Timmy home, please? That's what she said. Can you please?
And she said, "Do you mind bringing him back?" And I was like,
"Do you mind bringing him back?" Like, Eric already owns Timmy. Do you mind bringing him back? And I was like,
still going to be able to go to Georgia with?
Is he still going to be able to go to Georgia with me? They're like, "Yeah, whatever. Bring the kid home." Or the guy.
"Yes, he'll be able to."
By the way, Timmy's 5 years older than this Eric here. Timmy's 46 and Eric's 41. If anything, Timmy should be adopting Eric, but I'd advise against that too.
Go to Georgia. Just make sure he calls her. I was like, "I will."
So he's still planning on bringing, he still thought on Friday, after he screamed at everybody, that he was going to bring Timmy home. And they said, "No."
He's still going to be able to go to Georgia.
"Do you mind bringing him home? He's been gone with you at this Airbnb for a week." And I believe that for a couple reasons. I believe that Eric was keeping Timmy at these Airbnbs for a week and 10 days at a time because, one, to get Timmy used to being away from home. Make Timmy believe that being away from home with Eric is so much fun. Look how fun it is to be away from home with me. And number 2, like Eric has said more than once, that I was teaching Timmy new healthy habits and new healthy eating and stuff. Well, did you see that? Did you see the video where they had the whole countertop filled with sugary treats like Rice Krispie treats and cake and cookies and all this stuff? And he's handing Lorraine bags, jumbo-sized family bags of chips every day. I mean, and he's bragging that he's teaching him healthy habits. Like, what the heck? Looks like you're trying to kill them all. And if you ever notice in the that Betty has got a garden. They eat vegetables. And if you ever notice in the videos, in Mark's old videos, look behind Timmy and over on the side there, they have stacks and crates of veggies there. They eat healthy already. They didn't need Eric to show him how to eat sweets and potato chips all day. And then to try to show the world how he's teaching Timmy healthy habits. Look at me, adult protection. Look, I bought him new clothes. Look, I put him in a costume. Look, I taught him how to load the dishwasher. Look, I taught him all these things he already knows. He's a grown-ass man. He's 46 years old. Timmy knows all these things. And he probably knows better than to eat all that sugar and crap that you're trying to push down their throats. But Eric had his plan. Get rid of BJ. Well, he tried everything. He tried to say that he has some celebrity rehab center he was going to send him to. You should check into that. I was going to do a video, but I'm just busy. Anyway, I checked in that rehab he said he's going to send BJ to. It's for celebrities. It's like, I don't even know, Hulk Hogan and some bunch of other celebrities or something. And anyway, but he also tried it. He got her arrested, I believe. I believe he tried to get her arrested. I believe he tried to get her evicted. I believe he tried to get a restraining order. And those things he did. But nothing would keep BJ away. And it's made him so mad. He's like, all right, seems like Eric was in a little hot water in town, right? It seems like he kind of need to leave. But he can't just leave, because if he takes Timmy back with him, he's got the golden goose that lays the golden eggs. He's already aced Patrick out of the deal. Patrick's got no control over the money or the videos, according to him. So he's already aced Patrick out of the deal. Now he just needs to ace the family out of the deal, and he gets it all. He doesn't have to have 33%. He gets to get 100% of that money. And he's got Timmy with him with these trust funds and all this, tens of thousands of dollars for all these ideas. Each idea he's got is just like, wow, he would have been rich. Because at $70,000 a month, within a year, you're a millionaire. And that's not even $1 donation. That's just the video. So I believe he wanted to take him Saturday as planned. And they're already asking him, is it okay if we see Timmy? Is it okay? Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'll let him call every once in a while. You know what I mean? But I think this is part of the anger, is that plan didn't work out. And then when it didn't work out, all of them got taken away Monday morning, and his emergency custody papers didn't work out with Timmy. So I think this is where all the frustration and rage is coming from. Because where is it coming from?
Loves her son. And she said, do you mind bringing him back? And I was like, is he still going to be able to go to Georgia with me? Yes, he'll be able.
So Eric's calling the shots on Timmy already. Yeah.
To go to Georgia. Just make sure he calls her. I was like, I will. I'll make sure he calls every day. She said, he doesn't have to call every day. Just I said, no, he'll call every day.
Yeah, for the first few days. And after the 2 weeks comes and goes, and then what? He says, well, Timmy really wants to stay more. Okay. And then a couple more weeks go by. Now it's a month or two, and he's got the custody paper. He's got built a case that his home is unfit, and Eric's is super fit and healthy, full of sweets and chips and everything else. And you know what I mean? If people can't see the plan Eric laid out, I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, that is according to my opinion. We're going to let the investigators iron out all the details. They've got way more information than we do. The police and the investigators have a way to get hold of phone records, texts, emails, and all that other stuff that I and you can't get a hold of. So I think the investigators should find this. I don't even think they would break a sweat trying to figure this out, because to me it's so obvious, but I don't know. Anyway. One more. And now this part I can't figure out. Now he keeps saying that the court offered a continuance, but when did they do that? Because the court was here on the 4th. Here's the court date, right? Betty doesn't show up. I imagine BJ did, and it was just dropped because the one who filed for it didn't show up, which is Eric. This is the day Eric comes back and he blows up on the porch, and this is 5 o'clock on a Friday, okay? Courts are closed by the time Eric pretends that he doesn't know anything about it. Anyway, they find out that there's no court. This is Friday, late on Friday. So how did Betty get given 3 opportunities? When the next day is Saturday, the court's already closed when this happens. All right, when Eric shows up and finds out there's no restraining order anymore. So the court's already closed there. The court's closed Saturday. The court is closed Sunday. And Monday morning they get taken, or Monday they get taken after Eric goes down there. Now, Eric has not spoken to Betty since this day on the porch. Not spoken to Betty. Which is why he didn't get to take Timmy home. After the big blow up on the porch, he didn't talk to Betty anymore. So tell me, did the court try to get a hold of her over the weekend? Which is ridiculous. Eric didn't talk to her over the weekend before adult protection came on Monday. Although Eric knew it. Now, I believe that Eric told adult protection that I've told her 3 times she could extend it, but that she just wants the abuser in the house. And with Eric so agitated and everything, they believed him. They believed that this family was like in a big emergency, because why would the guy be acting like this? All right, go ahead.
They told her they would give her a continuance. She denied it for BJ.
They told her, how? How? Betty wasn't there on Thursday. Did they get a hold of her on Friday? That doesn't make no sense. What court calls people who didn't show up and offers them more chances? That doesn't make no sense.
She denied it. She said the abuser could stay at the house. Now, when you admit that someone beat Ray, beat Timmy, beat yourself, beat...
Who admitted everybody's being beaten? The only one that said everybody was beaten was Eric.
Her dad, stealing copper wire, doing the things that they're doing. What did you think was going to happen? I knew this was going to happen. And
he did know it was going to happen. Because I don't believe none of that stuff. I don't believe BJ was beating all those people. No, I don't believe for a minute. I knew this was going to happen. And here's the whole point. And they have no one to blame but themselves. So this lets Eric off the hook for missing the restraining order, for forcing everybody to go get. Then he missed it. It lets the blame off of Eric for not being able to build a house on somebody else's property and all this other stuff. What do you guys think was going to happen? It's nobody's fault but theirs.
I knew this was going to happen. And they had nobody to blame but themselves. There's more, guys. I want to get off of here. And
I'm sure he does. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks for watching. Peace.